Audio Jungle.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I would like to present about a good practice guide to energy monitoring and targeting. And we from group 2. My name is Iqbal bin Safaat. My metric number is CN190215. And we have three group members. There is one Abdul Azim bin Wan Muhammad Fauzi, and the last is Muhammad Fawaz bin Hashim. And our lecturer is Dr. Faridah Hanim binti Muhammad Noh. And today we will go to the introduction. The first point is effective energy measurement. Start with measuring how much energy is being consumed. And the second, energy consumption data must be collected and analyzed to understand the potential for energy performance improvement. And the third point, target for energy consumption can then be set, and actual energy consumption can be measured against the target. We can target the energy consumption that we want, and we can know what the missing one. And the last is for saving energy without capital investment. Next is monitoring and targeting. Energy monitoring and targeting is a technique for managing energy that uses energy consumption data and other data as a basic to eliminate waste, reduce and control energy consumption, and improve operating practice. There is 6 steps for monitoring and targeting. The first step is identify where energy is consumed within the factory. Second, record energy consumption at the level and at the major consumer. And third, analyze the data which is highlight consumption trends, identity relevant variable that influence energy consumption at process or set level, and identify and investigate period of apparent excess consumption. The step 4 is develop energy consumption baseline that represent typical or expected energy consumption. The 5, sets target for energy consumption with reference to the baseline and or external benchmark. 6, monitor consumption versus the target to identify when and why it is different from the norm, and take from this picture below. There is a monitoring and targeting is a tool used in a continuous improve cycle. The first is measure the data, analyze, take action from the information, and then the result of the data. Next is aspect for monitoring and targeting. Monitoring and targeting has found to have multiple benefits for industry, such as the first, energy cost saving, typically 5 to 15% due to the ability to identify and rectify excessive consumption as it occurs. Then, improve data for justifying capital investment. Then, improve product costing. There is more about to save the consumption. Other than that, improve budgeting due to better prediction of future energy consumption. Then, better productivity, quality, maintenance, and equipment lifetime due to the ability to identify irregularities. Effective monitoring and targeting acts as an early warning system that can highlight issues before they have the significant impact. Waste avoidance, not just energy, also water and material. Ability to benchmark against competitors and sister companies. Then, measurement and verification of saving from capital investment activities from the company. The last is compliance with ISO 501 requirement. There's a requirement that we can follow to get the more efficiency consumption for the company. The last of my slide is how to manage, conduct monitoring and targeting. From the data collection, I can explain energy consumption data should be collected for all significant energy source at its level, such electricity, thermal fuels, transport fuel, and others. This is the thing that the company must take this serious to get more saving. Then, data should be collected for the significant energy consumers on sites. For example, boilers, furnace, steam generator, dryer, major process. And this also the more consumption for the company at the energy use. The third point is data should include energy consumption and data on the relevant variable that may drive energy consumption up or do such production, throughput, product mix, weather, and others. And the last point, frequency of data collection should be the same for both consumption and the relevant variable data. That's for me. Thank you. And we can continue for my friend for the next slide. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama Muhammad Fawaz bin Hashim, matrik nombor CN190136. Okay, next we go to the data analysis. How we to note the data analysis. There are platform which we can use to record the data analysis. First is monitoring the thermodynamic, iaitu mengenal pasti perubahan keadaan sekeliling. Yang kedua ialah comparing the current energy. Yang ketiga, monitoring energy consumption. Yang ini memantau penggunaan tenaga di kalangan pengguna. Yang keempat, using regression analysis. Kaedah ini sering digunakan dan boleh dipercayai. Next is using multivariate regression analysis. Analisis ini melibatkan dengan pelbagai pemulihan ubah untuk mengeluarkan data analisis. Okay, next is Q-sum charting. Okay, Q-sum charting ni digunakan untuk memantau pengesahan perubahan. Okay, next is control chart. Control chart ni digunakan untuk mengkaji bagaimana proses berubah daripada masa ke masa. Kiranya data ni direkodkan mengikut perubahan setiap masa. Okay, untuk Q-sum charting ni dia banyak digunakan di negara-negara Euro. Dan dia telah diwujudkan di University Oxford. Okay, next. Okay, next we go to monitoring frequency, iaitu pemantauan yang berkala. First, monitoring can be automated, but it is take time to implement the monitoring and to review the result. However, if monitoring is too frequent, energy waste may continue for an extended period without being correct. Okay, pada part ini pemantauan dilakukan secara automatik. Okay, dekat sini pembaziran dapat dielakkan sekiranya tindakan yang cepat diambil untuk membaiki semula sistem yang telah rosak tersebut. Okay, next is frequent monitoring also make it easier to identify cause of waste that may disappear in data that is aggregate over a longer period. Okey, pemantauan yang kerap untuk mengelakkan kekeliruan data yang perlu diperoleh. Okay, next is it is recommended to monitor significant energy user at least weekly in order to prevent extended period of excess consumption. Develop ataupun pemantau perlulah bertindak dengan memikirkan cara bagaimana untuk memastikan pengguna tidak melakukan pembaziran tenaga. Okay, next is targeting. Thermodynamic minimum plus a percentage to allow for imperfect processes and for the percentage loading. Okay, thermodynamic ni mengawal proses industri supaya bahan yang dikeluarkan adalah bahan yang elok ataupun bahan yang tidak terlarang ataupun bahan yang tidak tercemar. Okey, untuk manufacturer recommended cadangan pengeluar ialah benchmark again companies carry out of similar activity, melakukan pengeluaran aktiviti yang sama. Okay, next, a percentage improve versus the previous shift per day, per week, per month, per year, taking relevant variable into account. Okay, sentiasa mengambil kira pemboleh ubah dengan merekod secara berkala. Okay, next is for the whole targeting is the consuming technique detail previously can be used to identify sustained period of good performance which can that be set as a target. Okay, teknik consume merupakan teknik yang bagus digunakan untuk memantau prestasi bagi sasaran yang disebut di atas ni. Ini kerana consume digunakan untuk memantau pengesahan perubahan. Ia menjadikan lebih efisien kerana consume ni dia teknik yang dia direkodkan perubahan menggunakan control graph. So data dia takkan hilang lah. Okay, we go to our next presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Wan Abdul Azim bin Wan Muhammad Fauzi. Today I want to present about the reporting. So, what is the reporting? Reporting should indicate clearly to the audience whether or not they need to take the action. Reporting by exception will be on the energy consumption that is outside of the norms is reported, so they can help to focus the attention uh, on the areas that need action and avoid the problem or opportunities to getting lost in the noise of too many reports. So this is a 5 of the energy performance indicator format. So the first, absolute consumption. What is the absolute consumption? This is the most basic format that we use in the energy performance reporting. Is a graph of the absolute energy consumption versus time. Next is the actual consumption vs the budget, target and baseline. So the difference between the actual consumption vs the budget, target, baseline is can be recorded and shown graphically. So we go to the next slide. Okay, this is the graph actual consumption slash expected consumption is from January 16 until the December 16. So the next is the control chart. Control chart actual consumption or the difference between the actual and the baseline consumption can be displayed in a control chart. Next is the heat maps. The heat map is the magnitude of the energy consumption can be coded. So this is the heat map consumption. So what we have see here, this the red indicates of the high energy consumption. So for the blue indicate for the low energy consumption. So next, for the overspend leak table with the traffic light. So this technique ranks the energy consumed in order of the overspend, so that the plant that is costing the most versus its budgets or baseline is highlighted on the top. So this is the table of the overspend vs the baseline. So the first column overspend vs baseline in kilowatt with the control limit. So they have a three color here. We can see the red, green and yellow. So for the red is consumption above the control limit, and for the yellow is indicate consumption within the control limit, and for the green is a consumption below the control limit. So we can say that they have the different condition for the three colors. So next is the monitoring and targeting software. So software will typically collect energy consumption data from energy meters via data logger. So software will analyze the data to generate useful information including energy consumption and cost trends. Baseline developed using the regression analysis, control charts, and Q-sum graph and heat maps. So the information is automatically distributed depending on needs, such the energy manager, engineer, supervisor, financial controllers, and general manager may all receive different information at different frequency from the system. The last point is it will be noted that a standard Excel package can deliver most of the functionality that the monitoring and targeting software package deliver. So that's all for the conclude. We can conclude that monitoring and targeting has the potential to deliver substantial energy saving, and it can also act as the early warning system that can improve the quality, reliability, and health and safety. So all organization with a significant energy consumption should be practicing monitoring and targeting using some of the technique outlined in this guide. So that's all for me and for my group. Thank you for watching.